Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. Today we are playing Mighty Scunthorpe United of the green and black striped outfits. They look like little neon bees. We are in our usual Swoodly Pooper red, but aside from that, nothing is the same for the Swoodly Poopers because I switched out all 11 of our starting players. I did this for two reasons. First, because I want them to be well rested and happy. There's Bowden, probably playing his second to last game as a Swoodly Pooper. First, because I want them to be well rested and happy when the FA Cup final starts against Chelsea. And second, because I was mad at them. By the way, our referee's name is McBeanie. I was mad at them because they weren't playing like Swoodly Poopers. They weren't playing as a team. They weren't playing for each other. They weren't playing. They weren't showing the loyalty that I associate. Sorry, it's emotional for me. With my beloved Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers, and so I benched them. I benched all of them, except for P. Smith, because Jean-Luc Picard-Smith desperately needs, he needs game time experience. So we'll see how we do today. Bowden with a skill level of 46, probably not going to have the best game of his life, but he'll do the best he can. We've got Voluptuous Paracard also starting up front. Voluptuous Paracard, who a player I have always respected tremendously as a man and as a footballer, but who it has to be said is partly to blame for all of the hullabaloo that's been going on with the Swoodly Poopers the last couple weeks. And I'm pretty disappointed that that he had to make such a big deal about feeling like he wasn't going to be part of the squad come if and when we get to the Premier League. I have to say, by the way, that I still think that there's a pretty good chance that he'll be on the team next season. He won't be playing every day, certainly, but I think he's, I like him. I've always liked Voluptuous Paracard, and I think Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin probably has a future on the club, too. Some of these other guys don't, but, they didn't make quite as big a deal about all of this stuff, so... Anyway, it's been disappointing. It's been a tough couple weeks in Swindon. I want to congratulate, by the way, the actual Swindon Town, who are not the Swoodly Poopers but the Robins, on their giant killing victory in the FA Cup's second round. The Swindon Town Robins are on a run of their own. Oh, that was a terrible pass, Bowden. And then an unnecessary slide tackle. It's like we're watching Hank Games Without Hank from 6 months ago. Back when I was really terrible instead of just, regular terrible like I am now. But anyway, the Swindon Town Robins won their second round FA Cup tie against Colchester United. That means they're moving on to the third round where they will be playing a Premier League side, Wigan Athletic. I know that everyone who supports the Swoodly Poopers will also be rooting for the Swindon Town Robins in that third round tie, except, of course, people who live in Wigan. So I want to introduce you to some of the guys on the club, even though in many cases this is the second to last time that you're going to see any of them. I think I'm going to stick with this starting lineup for our final FA Cup, for our final N-Power champion. Oh, that was a great opportunity. Voluptuous Paracard, you just didn't see the cross. You didn't see the through ball. It's really, whoever made that run did it. Wow, look at Voluptuous Paracard. Oh, he can't finish. So Voluptuous Paracard. Bowden is a long-time member of the Swoodly Poopers, but he because he started out with Swindon Town when he was a youth player in the Swindon Town youth system when he was 8 or 9 years old, and has been a member of the junior squad for many years and moved up to the senior squad last season. He's not, to be fair, had a lot of playing time, and I think what's going to happen, he's going to go out on loan next season to a League 2 side or League 1 side where he can get some playing experience, and then we'll see if he can make. Oh, Bowden, he's a finish. No, wait, that was Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin, who's starting in midfield today. So he's our captain, and he's playing like it. Great finish from Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin. As you can see, by the way, Scunthorpe United have about 30 fans in the audience. Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers seem to have more people even though we are away. That just speaks to the loyalty of the Swoodly Pooper supporters. Speaking of which, I want to thank all of you for loyally supporting the Swoodly Poopers, even in our hard times. And even when Stone Cold Steve with the C. Austin makes somewhat inappropriate comments about the John Greens, etc., you guys always, oh boy. Well, Look at that. We kept it out of the goal. You guys are always you're always very generous supporters, and I appreciate it. You know, Smith isn't not fat. It occurs to me. So anyway, the Bowden has been with the club a long time, and I think that he just needs to probably go out on loan. Sir Cuthbert, who you just saw completely miss a tackle, his full name is Swindon Town Swoodley Pooper, Sir Cuthbert, or Sir Swindon Town Swoodley Pooper Cuthbert. I can't remember. Anyway, the guy legally had his name changed to include the words Swindon Town Swoodley Pooper. So obviously he's going to factor into the voluptuous Pericard. Alice, I hope you enjoyed seeing that at home. It's a voluptuous Pericard. He does the airplane. He's flying, and now he's sliding on his knees. And the Swoodley Poopers rejoice. We're up 2-0. Frankly, this team, which is infinitely inferior in every way to the club we put out last game, is playing better. Which says a lot about how much what really matters in this game is not skill level all the time. It's how the team plays as a team. And frankly, this might shape my thinking about the FA Cup final and who I should start. Those guys with all their purported quality, if they're not going to play the kind of football that Swoodley Poopers play, then they're not going to play for us, and it's pretty much that simple. So that's the end of the first half. We're up 2-0 thanks to goals from Voluptuous Pericard and Stone Cold Steve with a C. Austin. 2 Swindon Town stalwarts, guys who have been around for a long time and played very heroically. Wow, that is a small stadium. Goodness. Scunthorpe United playing above their quality, above their level here in the N-Power Championship, because they appear to have a stadium that seats 400 people. So also on this team, so Sir Cuthbert will play a role next season. The exact nature of that role remains to be determined. He's a good player, and I like him. I've always liked playing with him, but I have some questions about his overall tackling ability. He's tall, which means that he scores more goals than the average center back, and of course we love goal scoring. For instance, when Bowden scores, Bowden with a heroic second goal as a Swoodley Pooper. That is his second goal at the senior level for the Swindon Town Swoodley Poopers. He just trapped the ball, let it go down, and then just popped it in the goal. Really proud of Bowden, who, again, I hope he factors into our future, but next season is probably going to be out on loan to see if he can just improve his overall quality. Also, he gets paid quite a bit more than I'm comfortable with, and that's the kind of luxury that we're just not going to be able to afford in the Premier League. Here he is again, Bowden. Oh, he fails to finish, and he puts his head in his hands because he feels ashamed. All right, so these substitutions will do you no good. By the way, I have to remember during the FA Cup final, I have to do substitutions. That's going to be key to my success against Chelsea. So there's oh boy, Sir Cuthbert has not had a good game, really, by any measure. That was a nice, actually I take it back, that was a really nice tackle that he just made. Gartland, not going to be a member of the Swoodley Poopers next season. I'm just going to be frank with you. He doesn't have the quality. He's never really become beloved of the fans, like he's not a fan favorite, and as such, I just don't see him having a role for our club next season. Again, Smith is another guy. I don't necessarily see him having a big role with the club next season. The guy you're watching right now, Grange, I don't think he's going to be on the club. Taylor Fletcher likely will be, just because I like the cut of his jib. I always have. I will say, if Grange could surprise me, but yeah, I don't think he will. And then the wingers are the guys who play defensively on the wing. None of those guys are going to be on our team. Like Caddis. Caddis had a great season last season. He's had a terrible season this season, and as well as Denazin, whatever his name is. He's had a terrible season this season, and he's not going to be part of our future plans. And I've had frank conversations with these guys, all of them, where I told them this, and it's not, they've been helpful on the practice field, and in a lot of cases, we're going to miss them. And I think that they're nice guys. I actually don't like Denazin that much, but I do like I do like a lot of them, but it's a matter of what's good for the club. We've got to think about what's in the long term best interest of the club, because ultimately the Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers are not about any individual. It's about the idea of the club and the support of the. Oh boy, that was not pretty. Um, and the supporters. It's about you and what's going to make you happy, and ultimately, what we all want to see. That's a great save from Smith. What we all want to see is success, and success in the Premier League is going to be a lot harder to come by than success in the N-Power Championship. I'm sure you'll remember the games earlier in the season that we were playing when we were playing European competition. Due to our role as FA Cup finalists, we got to play some games in Europe, and we got I don't know how to say this politely, the Scunthorpe beat out of us. Pretty much every game, the Scunthorpe was kicked out of us. And that's not something we want to see next season, right? We don't want to go up to the Premier League and literally lose every game, which is what will happen if we don't play smart. So we've got to do what's in the best interest of the club, what's in the best interest of the supporters, and ultimately, I think that's going to also help these players, because I want them to be proud and excited on the day they help the Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers go to the Premier League for the first time since 1993. And I think they will be. I think I'm starting to feel it. Right now, playing with the reserves, I feel it happening. And won't it be magical when they are on the field next game, when we officially... Oh, voluptuous Barricard, almost. Won't it be magical next game when the Swindon Town Swoodly Poopers secure their spot in the Premier League? I can't wait. I hope you can't either. See you next time on Hank Games Without Hank. I won't see you. I don't know the outro. Best wishes.